Hello and welcome to another video. We're in EU4 and we did some stuff. This is a mod that you might have seen before, but I was like, we should do this again because these areas have been updated recently that are included in this game, like this area over here. So we might have a more struggle of Castile, or we may have a bigger nation pop up here. But if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. We're doing the good old Drew Durnil style AI video. This should be quite interesting. I'm hoping Japan. I love Japan. Japan's my favorite. That's who I really hope Korea to do something to. Hopefully we don't see like the Europeans over here massacre everyone. We might. Hopefully we won't. But I got some good feelings, some bad feelings. Hopefully nothing too crazy happens. But if it does, I won't be too mad. You can see England is doing quite good over in Asia. They're looking like they're going to become Great Britain quite soon. I think they will form it. Scotland is going to be down, and then they're probably going to go after Italy, and I don't think Italy is going to be able to defend themselves from England. Then over here, in like this era, Indochina, Castile, Aragon, Portugal, they're doing okay, but this nation next to them is really starting to look good, and I have a feeling that they're going to give these nations a lot of problems, especially because they'll probably get the same technology as all these nations do. So this nation, we're going to have to watch, especially maybe some other nations too. They might actually give Castile a run for their money, or I'm speaking too soon and they're going to obliterate them. Back in Europe, it's kind of looking okay. Right now, Tunis is at war with Korea. I don't think they're going to take much land. This Indochina is doing all right. Japan, Ando's looking quite good. They might actually unite Japan sooner than I expected. They're not looking too bad. But what is this? Do we see? We have the Danish in Japan. So Denmark might be getting a run for their money for Japan, and so Japan might not be able to unify and get those buffs. So hopefully Japan kicks Denmark out, or else it's going to be a long time. Also, we can see Japan also has some land in France, which won't happen too long. France is pretty powerful. They're almost uniting all of the actual France, so we'll probably see them do some good work. I will not forget the Byzantines of EU4. The Ottomans are doing really well, and they're about to kill the Mamluks. Hopefully they get stopped by someone, and hopefully we don't have an Ottoman win, but you know, it happens in almost every game. We have this mod actually being interesting now. We have Castile going to war with Ming, and it's not just Ming. Venice and the Pope are also at war with Ming. So we can see Ming is getting attacked from both sides, so they might have a stronger army, but being attacked from these two fronts is going to be difficult. I think Castile's actually going to beat them, and I don't know what that's going to mean for Ming. Will Ming completely collapse? Or will they be fine? I don't really know, to be honest. Ming has been in multiple wars with Castile, and they're actually winning now. They're pushing back Aragon, Castile, and the Pope and Venice. So now it looks like these guys will have a problem, and I'm really looking at this nation right here to really get a lot of strength. They're actually a vassal, I think, of Ming currently, and they're just going to pick up lots of land from Ming being their like big daddy. So it's going to be quite interesting to see. And then over here in Europe, the Ottomans are getting a little hungry, as they tend to. They're probably going to take some land from Austria and Hungary. Hopefully they don't. Also, we see a very powerful France. I don't know if they're going to kill Indochina here, but something very interesting, since there isn't a Spain here to kill the North Africans, Tunis is looking quite well. Usually Tunis doesn't do this good. In the early game, they kind of are collapsing when the game starts, so I think Tunis might do well. There actually has been no colonization yet still, so hopefully we get some people colonizing soon, and I'm not really sure who's gonna start it. Probably France, if I was gonna bet. We have a very strange Russia. So usually Russia, before they form, takes out Novgorod, but they didn't. So this Russia's actually quite weak. I don't know how they're going to do, because Novgorod is pretty powerful, the Scandinavian countries are pretty powerful, and Poland and Lithuania are still together. So if the Commonwealth comes, I think Russia isn't going to have a good time. But it's going to be interesting. This is a very weak Russia. Usually we don't see this, so it's going to be interesting. As long as they don't align with the Ottomans, which they do sometimes, they'll probably be failures. France is now in the Caribbean, but that's about it. No one else is anywhere else. The UK is not doing anything. This is Great Britain. They're really not doing anything special, which is kind of sad. And Castile just has nothing going on. They literally haven't done anything. I don't know if Castile will start doing stuff. They don't have any colonies. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Castile's taken off over Australia. Okay, Castile's doing something. So maybe we'll see Castile become more powerful. They've really been lacking. So we'll see. Also, I'm kind of sad I mentioned Tunis because now Tunis is doing horrible. Korea is taking them out. This other nation took some land. Also, please don't look at the Ottomans right now because they're about to take over all the Middle East and I'm going to be sad. But, you know, it's usually what happens. Yeah. The Commonwealth is here and it's not going to be good for Russia. Russia is already struggling. They are kind of winning a war against this nation out here, but the Commonwealth is just going to crush them. The only way that Russia doesn't really lose this game at this point is if the Ottomans kill the Commonwealth, but the Ottomans are looking like they're going more for the Middle East and Egypt than really going after the Commonwealth. So we'll see, but big sexy Commonwealth and they might cause some problems in Europe. I haven't talked about them yet because I'm kind of afraid they're going to collapse, but this V nation that sometimes does good in EU4 is doing real good really early. Usually they do good pretty late in the game, but they're probably one of the most powerful nations in the world right now. They have pretty much the southern part of India, which is probably the most powerful part of India. But you know, colonization can ruin that, so we're just gonna have to keep an eye and look. There's some other nations that are doing a lot better than they usually do, but we'll see. We have an Indochina nation, or Vietnamese nation, Lao nation, you know, whatever you want to call it. They're actually in South Africa. They're doing some colonization. I don't know how much they're going to do, but it's cool to see that them being over here has changed them a little bit. I don't know what will really happen, especially because I gotta be honest, France is looking good. This is one of the best France I've seen, and it's because they don't have Spain or Great Britain to really stop them. Will they expand? Oh, probably not. They don't really have any war goals or anything like that. So we'll probably just see France chill here. We might see Austria do something though, because Austria is looking quite good. They integrated Bohemia. They might try to take over Hungary. I don't really know what they're going to do, but I really think the Ottomans can't really go into Europe anymore. I think it's too powerful here with the Commonwealth and this powerful in Austria. I think the Ottomans are just going to bully the Mamelukes and maybe go more into the Middle East. I really don't see them doing too much to Europe at this point.
Are you sure about that?
This is 100% World War I. I don't care what anyone says. We have Austria with Russia and a part of the HRE in Sweden attacking the Ottomans, Korea, France, and Novgorod. This is a pretty big. Oh, there's also this nation with Austria as well. It's a pretty big war. We have some of. We probably have at least 4 of these nations are the most powerful nations in the world: France, Austria, Ottomans, and Russia. Yeah, this is a big war. I don't know what really it's for, but it's going to be an interesting one. I know if we take a look, France isn't doing too well, and that's bad because France is doing pretty well in the game, and I kind of want to see them fall apart soon. But then Austria is also not doing good, so we'll see it even out. This is just a really big war. The only way it would be bigger is if the Commonwealth was involved. Colonization is not going very well. It's pathetic.
Trash!
Portugal got some land over here, but they lost it to the natives. The Chinook took all their land, so Chinook is actually looking pretty powerful, and Portugal might lose their land even more. And then France has just the Caribbean. This is pathetic. There is like no colonization whatsoever. If you look anywhere else, we have some stuff in South Africa, and that's really about it. Yeah, it's going to be hard because we have powerful nations on the coast, Kilowatt, Ethiopia, this V nation. Like, colonization might not happen in this game, which is going to be quite interesting. And it looks like our boy Tunis is going to eat the bullet here finally. I don't think they're going to survive. Korea is eventually going to take them out here. Oh, bye Commonwealth, it was good seeing you, you are gone. I don't know why I did that. Oh wait, no, they're fine-ish. Not really. Sweden and Russia bullied them, and now Russia's bullying Novgorod. I thought Russia was gonna have a hard time. Well, they made friends with the devil, Sweden, and now they're kicking everyone's butt. So, yeah, we'll see. Commonwealth, I love you. This wasn't supposed to happen. I swear, it wasn't my intention. Spain is now a vassal or a tributary state of Ming. Yeah, I didn't know that could happen. Like, I knew it could happen, but I was surprised. So now Ming is, like, pretty strong. Like, really strong. Like, might win the game strong. Like, usually Ming does pretty well, but this is going to be interesting now that they have Spain as their tributary state. In these AI videos that I do, sometimes I really want to, like, just like take all the gold away from like nations like the Ottomans, like literally just like go in with like console commands and be like -2 billion gold and like make them collapse. But then it would be like a fake video, and I can't do that. But like maybe like in some videos I might, because god damn it, Ottomans, you're ruining another video. Ling Zhang in Indochina is currently dying. The other two nations that are still around, Champa and Annam, maybe, yeah, sure, are taking them over, so they're dying. They have some colonies around, they'll probably lose them. Japan never got started, and I'm a little sad, and I don't think they're going to. Korea has part of that land. I know France has been doing some wars. Japan is going to kill the rest of Denmark because they look like crap, but I don't think they're going to do anything. This part of the world is absolutely disgusting. We have Spain that is a tributary state and has lost some land to Ming. Disgusting. Portugal is pretty much dead. This nation that I thought was going to give them trouble is giving them a lot of trouble. It's pretty bad. Spain also has some land over here, and so does Portugal and Great Britain. It's just a big mess, because usually these big colonial powers mess with this area. They're really messing with them because they're so close, and it's border war, and it's disgusting, and it's usually never too good, but it's particularly bad in this one. So colonization is happening, but a little differently than historical. France is going after South America. They're finally doing something. I think that's because there's no one else in Europe really to compete with. And then Great Britain is doing it through conquest, which they kind of did historically as well, but they're doing it completely through conquest. Usually they get some open land. They're just going straight through Mexico. They're killing everyone, which is also historical. Never mind, this is pretty much historical, except for it's not the 13 colonies, it's just Mexico. Well, France has ruined Japan's day. Yeah, Japan really has been struggling in this game, and they're out of it now. There's no way for them to come back, which the only thing this does just cement France is probably being potential to win this game, especially if they get colonization going in Americas. Like, France kind of got this unlocked, but we know France, they're gonna mess it up. They always do. The Timurids are back, which is a kind of unique starting nation that usually falls apart. This is actually formed by Transylvania, or the big T word that's not Transylvania. It's some some blah 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 blah. I don't know how to pronounce it. They're gonna die. The Ottomans and Russia are about to murder them. They shouldn't have formed a nation, and they're gone. It was nice seeing the Timurids joining, but they'll be departing really soon. I was also wrong about the Ottomans not going into Europe. Since the Commonwealth got weakened, the Ottomans are just going to rule the world. I don't like when this happens. It gives me flashbacks to my games. Great Britain and France have picked it up quite a bit. France is going wild, as you can see. They're taking a big chunk of Japan. They're going for the rest of Indochina. They're trying to take Korea too. And Great Britain is just insane. They actually have, what's it called? A part of Japan as well. And you don't want to see the Americas, because Great Britain has like everything. They are super powerful. Same with France as well. There pretty much was no Spain or Castile, so really it's just dividing between France and Great Britain. Yeah, they're really powerful. The only one that could really stop them is the Ottomans or Russians, and you know, they're not looking that good. Okay, never mind. Look at the Ottomans. The Ottomans are insane. I won't argue with them. Spain is not here, and they pretty much weren't here the entire time. Portugal, of course, died off a long time ago. I didn't really mention them, but Spain is here, but yeah, they're not going to come back. But however, in their ashes, this Indonesian empire, Indonesia, they have taken like all this land that Portugal and Spain had, so they pretty much have most of Indochina, and they're looking quite good. I think they're actually fighting for Australia right now, and that might be interesting if they get Australia. If it hasn't been apparent already, the HRE is not going to have a good time. They're not going to survive. They're getting crushed by every side. France is getting them, Ottomans are getting them, Commonwealth is getting on the action. There will be no HRE at the end of this game. They're done for. I want to shout out this tiny Dutch nation. Yeah, this one right here that you can barely see. They're insane right now. If we look at the entire map, they have colonized Greenland, part of Canada. They're taking over some land in Canada, and they now have big parts in Africa as well. They have the coast of Africa, South Africa. They're doing insane, and they're just like this little nation, and they're pretty powerful. Yeah, I just want to give them a shout out because the rest of the world is on fire and blowing up, from France, British, and Ottomans, and maybe a little bit of Russia too. We are at the end, and there's some pretty obvious people that are in the lead. You can see France is dominating in Europe. They have Indochina, Japan, Korea, and all of France. That is quite well. They also have half of South America and the Caribbean, which is pretty good too. We have Great Britain, which really don't have any land in Asia, but they have most of North America and like a half of South America, so they gotta be doing pretty good too. And how could I even forget, the Ottomans are insane. They pretty much have their peak borders way past them. They have a big part of Europe. Actually, they're probably gonna be the most powerful for sure after they take out the Commonwealth. They are getting occupied a little bit by Austria, but I doubt they're gonna have too much of a problem. They're doing quite good. We also have Russia, which is looking big and strong. They didn't actually have a problem with the Commonwealth, and we have some other nations that are pretty big over here too. So let's go ahead and take a look at the good old leaderboard to see who actually came up on top. So in 8th, we have an Indian nation, Assam, which is looking pretty good. They aren't that big. We have the Commonwealth in 7th, which I thought they were definitely going to be out of this game. I didn't think they were going to be on the leaderboard after they started to struggle. 6th, we have another maybe I should not say their name. In 6th, another Indian nation. 5th, we have Ming, which is kind of unique. I feel like Ming doesn't make it too much to the end. They start as number 1 and usually fall off pretty fast. Russia as number 4, looking quite strong. Number 3, Great Britain. Number 2, we have France. And barely at number 1, we have the Ottomans. I think it definitely would change between the Ottomans and France. I think the France has a lot more room to expand, while Ottomans have a lot of people they border. Religion, it's not that unique. It's pretty Catholic everywhere. There's no really unique religions anywhere that shouldn't be. We have maybe some Catholic in Asia that shouldn't be there, but the European Catholics pretty much taken over. We do have the Ottomans spreading their religion too, and then nothing. This is pretty normal. Hindu maybe being a little bit bigger than usual just because there's no colonization over here. And then culture, we can see who came over here, and it looks like France and the English. We do have some other places like Portuguese over here because Portugal grabbed it first. But really, there's no really weird culture ever. The only culture that usually changes is in the Americas. So if you enjoyed this EU4 video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I love doing these AI-only videos. If you have an idea for EU4 that you would like to see me do or a mod, let me know down in the comments below. Hope you had a great time, enjoyed the video. See you later. Make sure to subscribe. We're trying to get to 5,000 by the end of the year, and see you later.